You there?
Yeah.
Alright. Yeah. Could you just check the, could you just do me a small favor and just check the live stream link and, let me know if you can actually pick up the voice on there. And once you have, just mute it, don't worry about it. Can mute it, because you'll probably just hear your own voice again.
Alright, it's working.
Oh, fantastic. That means, this should be working as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we can actually start now, I think.
Wonderful.
After all that. Yeah, I'm so sorry for, like, keeping you waiting and all that.
It's fine.
Technology is terrible. Well, I'm no good with... I don't think I mix well with technology, that's my problem.
Yeah. Well, dealing with the idiots, well, speculators, is kind of fun.
Oh. I know, right? Yeah.
I have to keep on explaining the root of Sylveon's name.
It's a freaking... What's it? A nymph or whatever. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's as far as it goes. It's not like some deep inner meaning. It's not like secretly something it's not.
Its name means from the wood in English. Its French name or German name means sylph, and the other one means fairy. It's gonna be a flying type.
Yeah, exactly. It's a flying type because it's It's a nymph, and a nymph is an air creature.
Mm-hmm.
You'd know that from playing too many RPGs like me.
Yeah. This is Game Freak we're talking about. They have to earn the name Troll Freak for a very specific reason.
You're gonna have to mute the live stream. You'll have to listen to it silent, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, you ready to start?
Yes.
Awesome. You're gonna have to mute it because it's gonna keep repeating itself and building up the sound volume. So unfortunately, you can't listen to the nice music until the video is actually finished. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's actually how I'm.
Yeah. I can hear it over Skype.
Yeah, you should be able to hear over Skype, so yeah.
Yeah.
So, ready to begin?
Yes.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Okay, welcome back to my Breath of Fire 1 Let's Play, and we're with... How am I gonna call you? Lost a Queen? Lost?
Just call me Lost.
Alright then. And today we're actually exploring this like tower thing. It's called Agua, or Kama, or Gua, I don't remember.
I don't really know any... sorry. Like I said, I have no knowledge of the series, so I'm just here to be a guest.
That's fine. It's an old like RPG by Capcom. Like they don't really make stuff anymor, like RPGs like this.
All they make now are fighting games.
Yeah, basically crossover games.
Mm-hmm. I see you have a dog archer, some angel chick, and the protagonist?
Yeah, there's a funny thing about this game is that there's about 5 games in the series, and every single one you're always going to have a party of either anthros or like creature people.
Wow.
I know, it's like one of the weirdest things ever.
Any game that actually has a regular human?
I would say the main character of this, you know, the blue-haired guy, I'd say he was a normal person, but he kind of isn't.
Yeah, he transforms into dragons.
Yeah. There's this other, like, thief guy called Khan, but he is like DBZ styled fusion, so that doesn't count either as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm.
So what sort of games do you play?
Let's see here. Play a lot of Atlas games. Just gotta love
I
Atlas.
love Atlas. Love Atlas so much. Totally agree.
Mm.
The first Atlas game I played was, I think, Crusader Ascenti on the Sega Genesis Mega Drive.
Yeah. For me, I actually got really late into Atlas, but it was with their co-operation series with Steam, which is a great game company.
I've never heard of that, actually.
It's a really good game. Steam's actually a really good game company. Their cooperation with Atlas is titled under Department of Heaven.
Oh, right.
A lot of the themes are actually reminiscent to Persona.
Oh god, Persona, I got into that in like, I think 2007, I think.
I got into Persona last year.
That was from Persona 3 Portable, wasn't it? I can only assume.
Actually, I was in a Persona RPG on, Cerebi first, then I actually downloaded Persona 3 Portable.
Alright. Yeah, I started with, I actually started with Persona 3 on,
PS2?
Persona 3 on the PS2, yeah.
I really wish the...
Try...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay, you first.
I really just wish Persona 3 Portable had the answer with it.
The answer is good. I can tell you that it's actually decent.
Mm.
The only issue being that it's too hard, and it's too much based on luck, as far as I'm concerned.
That, and you don't actually get to control your party AI, so that can really screw you over.
Yeah, that's mainly the reason why it's based on luck. That and the bosses you fight, they have a percentage chance to dodge their weakness, and if they dodge it, you're dead.
And I guess it's mostly forced to be into a healing role most of the time, since Ken or Yukari is not actually in the party the entire time.
Yeah, they don't do their job properly.
No. Let's see here. My final party for Persona 3 Portable was Minato, Ken, Mitsuru, and Aigis.
I haven't really got far in Persona 3 Portable, but I did finish Persona 3 on the PS, and I think I finished with somewhat weird like Ikari, Mitsuru, Aigis, and I think Kuromaru, I think? Yeah, that's what I finished with.
I watched through the walkthrough for Persona 4 Golden.
Alright. Yeah, I really want to play that, but the problem is Vita.
I know.
Too expensive.
Well, the funny thing is they're crossing over Shin Megami Tensei with... Did I say that right? Oh. With Fire Emblem.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I heard about that. Because my problem, the thing that sells a console to me is the fact that if it has a game on it that is, well, more than one game that I want to buy. Because if it doesn't have that, then I'm not interested.
For me, there's 4 really main games I want to get on the Wii U that I currently know of, which is New Super Smash Bros. Bayonetta
Is
2.
X one of them?
What?
Is X one of them?
X? I actually haven't heard of that.
It's apparently a game being developed by Monolith Soft, I think. And, I saw the trailer to it, it looks amazing. Apparently it doesn't have an actual name yet, but from what I've seen on the trailer, it just looks amazing. It's sort of like an open world Monster Hunter JRPG sort of thing. It looks amazing.
That sounds good. Let's see here. Oh yeah, the Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei crossover. That I really am looking forward to, and I want to try out the new Pikmin game.
It's funny how they didn't even like post any videos of the gameplay. They just put, oh, let's put Megami Tensei characters and let's put Fire Emblem characters in the same trailer, and
Nyx.
Yeah, we haven't even seen any gameplay, and we've already got like a hype train for it.
I know. It's like X and Y.
Well, at least with X and Y, we actually had like gameplay footage, but with Fire Emblem and SMT, we just got nothing, and we're still hyped for it, and we don't care.
Though I'm really wondering how they're going to play out the game style. I think because I know FE is. I've never played Fire Emblem, but I know it's like a tactical RPG, so. And like Mega 10 is like a demon negotiating. Or it's like SRPG, not an SRPG. It's like Final Fantasy, and
yeah. What I can honestly see happening is that it ends up being like Pokemon Conquest, and it's just one of those crossover type SRPG games. That's what I think is gonna happen.
I can really see it play out with more of a Fire Emblem style with all the characters they're adding in. Though I do have to agree, Pokemon Conquest was really good. Well, until it got boring.
Well, I haven't actually had a chance to buy Conquest yet, but my main reason for being interested in it is mainly because I played another SRPG crossover called Battle Moon Wars. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Basically, literally the same gameplay, pretty much. But it does get, I have to agree with you, it does get boring after a while. It's like something you can only play for a few hours and then you want to do something else because it's just the same thing over and over again.
And the one thing I did not like about Conquest was that you only get one move per Pokemon.
Yeah, that is kind of a problem.
Considering they gave, like, my Chandelure, which is, like, powerful as all it can be, and they gave it Fire Spin.
Like, you could give it somewhat better than that.
I know. But the nice thing is that it can hit 8 tiles multiple times. I'd rather see it use something more of, like, Inferno or something.
See, I think there's some lost potential there, because what they could have done the Battle Moon Wars route, and as your Pokemon or whatever you have in your party levels up, it gains new skills.
Or they could have done something like Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and 2. Sorry for interrupting again.
That's it. No, that's okay.
What I like about oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's okay. You go first.
This is like weird. We keep on interrupting each other, but like what I like in Final Fantasy Tactics Advance and 2 is that you learn skills as you use a weapon or have an armor on.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't really remember a lot of Final Fantasy Tactics, because the first time I ever saw that game I was like so young I don't even remember it, so I'm meaning to try that at some point. So that's something on my to-do list.
I would definitely suggest Final Fantasy Tactics Advance 2.
I'll have to try it if I can get hold of it anymore.
There's like so many great Sorry, go on ahead.
That's alright. Yeah, I was just saying, you'll be surprised how difficult it is to actually get hold of any type of decent game in England. It's terrible. You do not want to live in this country.
Well,
Alright, now you're done.
well, here in America, we can easily get games we want. There's a lot of other problems.
I heard the part where they can make stupid decisions.
Let's just say, yeah. Let's just say most Americans aren't really that bright.
I mean, I find England too traditionalist in what they do. Like, they'll never pass like new laws and stuff because, oh, this is the good old days. We don't want to change. Like, they don't like adapting.
Yeah, change is good, but a little too much change is not good.
Yeah.
One thing I really hate is that most of the great games out on most Nintendo systems were Japan exclusive, like Mother 3.
Yeah, that's one of the worst things, because even though America gets more stuff, they're still missing out on stuff. Like, I looked at the releases, the list of releases on Wii Shop in Japan compared to US, and there's still like a big steep drop in what you get compared to Japan.
Yeah.
I don't really know why that is. It's just, I guess they don't have the money to push it over in this country or these countries or whatever.
Or they have the fear that it'll not sell, so they won't translate it, even so a large amount of the fan base wants it.
Yeah.
Or there are those times where they just don't want to deal with it because of translating errors, which actually happen. The Union series, which I've blabbered on about a million times.
Yeah, it's fine though. It's fine to like stuff.
Do have to say, Ictor Union is actually one of the hardest games ever made for a portable device. Well, Nintendo standards.
I've actually first heard about that game on the Game Boy Advance, I think. I remember someone having like some music on YouTube and it was like the most amazing thing ever. I don't know what the gameplay is like though. Do you obviously you've played it, so could you...
I've played through it like let's see here. The gameplay is really... It's like a grid-based, and you have these cards, and they have a number on them. The card...
Alright.
The number is like how many squares you can move your units total.
So it's like a tactical RPG then?
Yeah, it's a tactical RPG mixed in with a strategical RPG, because you have to be wary of weapon triangles. Like, in games like Fire Emblem, sure, you can avoid the weapon triangle at times. Ictor Union, though, disobey weapon triangle, you will die. This game... This is Atlas and Steam together.
Oh,
this game is, like, made to want to make you die. Seriously, in the PSP version, they added in more stuff, but it's relatively easier than the Game Boy Advance version. In the Game Boy Advance version, you're really going to be dependent on certain crutch characters. Well, in the PSP version, you don't really have to depend on certain characters, like...
So they basically just dumbed it down a bit.
Yeah, but they added in more characters, so... And they added in a really broken character, like... You know, those ditzy types of characters, like...
Perhaps compare it to a character that...
I think...
Something...
Have you watched Soul Eater?
Soul Eater, I've heard of it.
Well, let's see here, something you know. Like, okay. Characters like Bianca from Black and White.
Right, sort of an idiot.
Yeah. She is the most broken character in the game. Because of her special card skill allows sleep. Like... In this game, in Ictor Union, sleep lasts 3 turns and makes you not able to do anything. Meaning, You will always get defeated when you're asleep.
That's a little on the ridiculous side.
Mm-hmm. The game mechanics were weird, but it's really challenging.
I mean, it's probably something I should probably check out, because, I mean, I've been, like, a big fan of tactical RPGs mainly over stuff like Final Fantasy and all that. Falling bias, because my first game I ever played was called Shining Force 2.
I think I've heard of the Shining Force series. Well,
you think you've heard of it, or you haven't?
I've heard of it, I just don't remember what I heard about it. I think I just heard about the name.
Alright, yeah. It's one of those really great RPG series that companies just decided to bury under the sand, even though it's, like, just a really great game.
Yeah. Oh wait, sorry, got kind of sidetracked about my explanation of the game mechanics of the Union series. Let's see here. Yeah. Let's see here. The main thing about the game series, which I think you get in Chapter 7, yeah, you get in Chapter 7 for Yggdra Union, and in Blaze Union you get it in Chapter 4. Blaze Union is relatively more story-heavy, but shorter game. Yggdra Union doesn't really get story-heavy until really late game, where like everything just like hits you and your mind explodes with all the information.
Yeah.
Well, female units have like a union that's in a plus, and male units have union that's like in an X, and any of your units that are in these certain union areas will create a longer union change, which means you'll have more characters attacking, meaning more grinding your cards, which are like your lifeblood in this game. And then there's card skills, which have two active types, like active and passive. Like, active card skills are like ones you, like, Game Boy Advance, you hold down B to activate. I think in PSP you hold down X for Yggdra, and square or circle for Blaze Union. But these, like, use skills like Gravity Chaos, which is a dark elemental skill that adds curse, and then there's like those skills that, if the main heroine's card in Yggdra Union, well, her name is Yggdra, so Yggdra's main card is Crusade. If she's the only unit left, like in the Game Boy Advance unit, every character has like actually there's like 6 of them to make it sort of balanced out. And in PSP they add an 8. Well, those are for small, and for larger units there's 3 in Game Boy Advance and 8 and 4 in the PSP. Well, if Yggdra's by herself, she can use the Crusade card, which means the opposing side will just die. It's an instant kill card, basically.
The card sort of system you mentioned, sort of, I know I'm bringing this up again, but it reminds me of the Game Boy Advance version of Shining Force 1, where they had like this character where you could use cards based on the characters. It's not sort of the same thing, is it? It's not anywhere close.
No. But
this is one of the weird thing it reminded me of.
The card system is really what defines this game and makes it really playable. Because, in all honesty, in the Game Boy Advance version, there was a lot of brokenness and the RNG. Like,
I hate RNG so much.
I know, but the 2 main characters that everyone resorted to well, there's actually 3. Well, in the Game Boy Advance version, everyone resorted to 3 characters. Durant, your knight, you get really early. He's like that big. He's like that he's the crutch character in the game. He's like very strong when you get him, But unlike
Yeah.
most characters, he stays strong throughout the game. And that's also the same with the hero as well, Milnor. He doesn't really get a lot of stats, but once you start boosting him up, he'll naturally max. Once you get him MVP bonuses, he'll naturally max like midway through the game if you just abuse him. Which is the problem, since your other characters will fall behind. And
So basically, he's just OP in general.
yeah, he's OP. In the Game Boy Advance version, the other two OP characters are Elena, your assassin, and Rosary, a witch. In the Game Boy Advance version, a lot of the late game maps, well, also in PSP version, a lot of the late game maps take place at night. This game has a day and night system for turns, like the turns are actually day and night, and they influence certain characters, like the Bianca character, her name's Pamela in PSP version. She's like very powerful at night because her card skill I was talking about earlier, Kamakarma, makes people fall asleep, and she actually can counter both. I need to just live stream like a gameplay video one time. It's really
probably should, because I would like to see at some point.
This game series is like, it needs visuals to really help. But Elena, she gets really high tech, which influences when you charge, which is like your attack against the enemy's gen, which is like defense. You have an attack stat, but it's actually more of the attack is more of your health during the battle, and it factors into like when dealing down the enemy's health gauge, which is called morale in the game, and when morale reaches 0, either A, the unit falls back or dies. So, but her card skill, Bloody Claw, instantly kills the enemy's head, which is like the main character out of all the units, meaning they can't get stronger throughout the fight and can't activate card skills. Meaning it was pretty broken. And Rosary, a lot of people use just because she had a fire resistance, because of the main antagonist of the game. He's aggressive, with like there's passive where you deal less damage but charge up for card skills. There's aggressive where you deal more damage and you can add in an element. And there's normal where you just do normal calculated damage from weapon triangle. She is resistant to fire, and the main enemy uses fire as his aggressive, and the game kind of works out like this. Swords, feet, axes, axes, feet, spears, that usual weapon triangle. Those three, bows are weak to those, but they don't get an advantage against bows. Bows just don't do well against them. But bows absolutely will beat rod units, and rod units have an advantage over that. And then there's book, which is weird because it functions like a rod. Like, it's weak, it's like strong against the SAS weapon triangle and weak to bows, but it's also strong against rods. And then there's Scythe, which is like the SAS weapon triangle. It is weak against Scythe, and Scythes are basically very OP in this game. In the PSP version, they decided to give you a Scythe unit.
So they've broken it even more.
But she gets very horrible stats, which is
okay. That makes sense.
But on her level, you're a mermaid. Yes, we get mermaids in this game. They're the only units they're called Undines, and they're like the only ones that actually go onto water. If you have a certain amount of reputation, which means how much you win a battle, can determine on some maps which items you get. You can get an item called the Golden Dozu, which raises all of your stats by 1 star, meaning she can get really broken really fast if you keep on feeding her.
Alright, okay.
And it's a housewife mixed with a Christmas cake. Okay, TV tropes there. And then lastly, some other characters. You get a hunter, which is only good against the one very annoying enemy during the game. She's really annoying, but that's really his only use. A fencer, which Yggdra's better. She's the preferred sword unit in this game. And then there's Roswell, which is a necromancer. And he's actually he's pretty much made... I think canonly, they actually killed off Rosary. Yeah. Because of, like, you have to kill off Rosary or Roswell to get the other. But Roswell was, like, better than Rosary in all regards. People just use Rosary because of her fire immunity. So yeah, that's basically a basic rundown of Yggdra Union.
I think I've learned the entire game.
Minus the story.
I'll have to actually see, take a look into it, because I know you've been bugging me about it for a while, so I like the soundtrack in it, so it's a matter of getting around to it.
Yeah. The entire Department of Heaven series as a whole functions as each game installment is like... The Union series is episode 2, and it has the only episode with more than one game in it. I've heard of Riviera the Promised Land.
Oh, I've heard of that.
That's episode 1. Then
yeah.
Episode 4 is Nights in the Nightmare. And then Episode 9 is Gungar the Demon Sphere. They're very weird. They didn't actually do all the episodes in chronological order, so we don't know anything in 5 through 8, and all we know about Episode 3 is that it's based in Asgard. This series has a lot of Norse references, and is an MMO, apparently.
Alright. Speaking of MMOs, have you played any?
Wars 2. Yeah, pretty much Guild Wars 2. I also do play MapleStory, but that's pretty much it.
Right. I have to say I've played quite a few MMOs, but most of the ones I played are now old MMOs. Like, I don't play many new ones because there's just so many of them.
And most of them you have to pay money.
That's pretty much all of them. Yeah, I have to admit, even the free ones you kind of have to, because they make things inconvenient for you, yeah.
And they make, like, in MapleStory, it's like, free to play! Pay money to get all the better items.
They basically say free to play, pay to win.
Guild Wars 2 is more play, is more pay by the game, free to play. And I think you referenced, like you told me earlier, that you can get enough in-game cash to easily just buy stuff that you could normally actually have to pay cash for.
Oh, you mean Guild Wars 2, right?
Yeah, Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, you can actually trade your, like, gold into gems, and from what I remember, it's probably not right now, because I haven't played that game for a while, because I'm basically just waiting on events and stuff. But I think it's something like, last time I checked, it was, I think, about a single gold to 100 gems.
Oh my god.
And I think the trade pack rate is like something. I think I had. What's it? About 2,000 gems goes back into about 10 gold. That's it.
Wow.
So not much.
It's not really good gems to gold, but gold to gems is probably pretty good. Like I heard. Like, speaking of gems, it reminds me of the Pokemon trading card game online. Not fun.
Oh, yeah.
Not really fun memories there.
Like, I tried playing that again because my eldest, she's really into collecting the cards, but she doesn't play with the play them online or anything, so she just gives me the tokens when she buys them. And that's really the only reason why I wanted to start up again, because I had some codes to use, that's it.
Yeah.
But I noticed when I tried starting it, like, the screen was, like, way too big. The client screen was way too big for, like, the PC that I have, because I don't have a wide screen, I only have, like, the regular screen, because I'm poor like that. But, yeah, I tried playing it, and I found out I actually couldn't play it because of a technical thing, where the screen was, like, 10K by 19K, and my poor computer screen couldn't even fit it on.
Wow.
But I had to actually end up borrowing my sister's laptop for that, so I'm glad she only bought that last year, so.
And then there's like all that other crazy stuff that happened on the forums there, and just not fun memories.
Oh god, yeah. There is something you've got to kind of expect, because it's like a kid. You have to admit, it's like a kid's forum, isn't it?
I know. It's like, at least on Cerebi, there's at least mature, reasonable people most of the time. So, and they actually have better moderators and stuff. Like, try not to get into any legal issues or stuff. I'm just saying an honest opinion. Really wasn't well managed.
You won't get into any legal stuff on here, trust me.
I know.
Just say what you want.
But it was just really, really bad management. You're just really was not effective. I think the way they handled things could have been done better, to be honest. Though at the same time, you have to remember that they're being monitored under someone else higher than them, and they've got to be really careful what they write. Yeah. It's like Disney Disney brainwashing all of their their workers.
You know what? You said Disney, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really not a fan of Disney at the moment.
That's why I kind of transitioned into like battling simulators like Pokemon Online and Pokemon Showdown. No, you don't really play them, but I did show you an example of Pokemon Showdown.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to actually take a look into that, because I saw you playing that on the live stream, and that actually looked kind of decent. Like, it actually had like the animations going there and everything. Yeah. So
I do have to say, Pokemon Showdown's probably the best thing for battlers. It's browser-based, so you don't have to download anything, meaning you don't have to free up computer space. All you need is like one username. Teams are saved to the computer, so you're gonna have to like use Facebin or something on there, but it's pretty good. And the laddering system, I think, is overall better because of sure, they give you a huge boost. Like, you can easily get to 1400, but get to 1600, it takes a lot of effort.
Because I know on the simulators it actually helps, because I personally don't have time to IV train like Pokemon all the time like that. Well, EV train, I meant, you know what I mean. But yeah, that, and you have to hatch them for the right IVs as well. It's just way too much time for just a single Pokemon, and it's just. I really hope that's something. I really hope it's something that they sort out in X and Y, because that would just help so much.
Yeah. At least just make IVs and EVs visible. Come on, everyone.
I find out there's just... It was okay when there was like 150, 200 Pokemon, because, or 300 Pokemon, because it gave you something to do after you'd finished the game, but now there's like over 600, it's just not possible now.
649.
If you wanted every single Pokemon in the Dex flawless, you're looking at tens of thousands of hours of gameplay.
Not possible.
It's not. Not in my lifetime, anyway.
No. No. That and shiny hunting.
I was actually doing that today. Although it was unintended, because it was mainly unintended because I was just doing it in the morning just to kill some time while my video was rendering. And
got Electrics.
I had a shiny patch come up like seven chains in, and then I was in the Valley Windworks place in Pokemon Diamond, and I actually I actually had a shiny patch show up about seven Electrics in, and I was like, freaked out a little bit, and then I moved to the side so I wouldn't get any patches show up. But what I didn't notice is, you know, the wind turbine? That wind turbine actually hit a patch behind it, and I stepped into it, and it not only broke the chain, I also lost a shiny as well.
Yeah. Okay. I got in like 100 something software sets for Cyndaquil yesterday.
That would drive me insane.
I've actually calculated that for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, the average for starter soul free sets you can get in 3 per minute, which is like 120 in an hour. No, 100.
Yeah.
Well,
it's about that for software resetting for Latias, as far as I calculated, at least.
No, actually, my math is wrong. It's 180 per hour. And since I'm going to be on a long bus ride on Thursday and Friday for 8 hours, I'm most likely going to be bored to death. And probably get that shiny Cyndaquil. I hope.
Though, I hope you don't end up being that guy that was on YouTube. I don't remember his username, but if I do remember it, I'm going to link it to you. There was a guy
the video, like 2 years.
Oh, is that the guy that's Snorlax.
Yeah, I was expecting many lesser F-bombs.
Because he had to deal with that long Pokemon flute animation as well.
I know.
I couldn't sit through that every single time.
I know. I would have probably gone insane about 100 software sets in. I've gotten insane already with Cyndaquil. It's only like 800.
I mean, I'd probably RNG something like that, but I kind of don't want to RNG all the time, because it's not like you're doing it legitimately, but then you're not, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're abusing the game's RNG.
Yeah.
And you can't RNG starters that you aren't breeding.
No, you can't. Well, you can in Emerald, depending on how you do it, but that's because it's broken anyway.
Yeah, Emerald's like Emerald's really broken.
Yeah, I actually found out how to RNG in Emerald as well, and it's crazy. Like, you have to literally press Sweet Scent at like a millisecond, in a millisecond of an amount of time to get it.
But doing it successfully really helps.
Yeah. I mean, I got a Relicanth that way. And Clamperl as well.
I'm probably going to, like, once I get this badge quest done in a million years in Soul Silver, I'm working on trying to complete the Pokedex and Heart and White 2, so I can get that shiny charm.
Shiny charm is actually worth it. I'll tell you that right now.
Just like with the oval charm and the shiny charm and like a level 10 nursery in your joint avenue, you can easily Masuda method like hundreds of eggs in a matter of hours.
Anyone who tell, I actually don't say, you know, the Latias I've been resetting for. That's actually, I actually have a shiny charm in that game, but I haven't said anything about it because it's still taken me like over 8k, and I still haven't found it yet.
And like the people on the Shiny Hunters thread get like, you have a shiny charm? That's not right. It's like,
What happened to the aggro over the Poke Radar? Because that seems to have died down a bit.
I know. It's like,
I don't know about you, but I find it really hard to like even successfully chain like just over 10 Pokemon.
I know. I think the highest chain I gotten was like Eradicate at like 28 or something. But that took a lot of resets and a lot of super repels. So yeah.
Because the thing is, it's actually based on luck as well. Because
while you can get a lot of shinies once you get it correctly, it still takes probably the same amount of time to actually get a successful chain.
Yeah, getting a 1 to 40 is one of the hardest things you could ever do. Is after that, it's kind of easy, but I think what they should have done, perhaps, is like coded it so you could only get one.
Instead of multiple. I need to turn on the light in my room real quick, so...
Alright, that's fair enough. So, how are we doing for time? How much longer do you want me to keep doing this? Just like 5-10 more minutes, I guess?
Alright. I've gotten back into fanfiction. Yay, me!
I like writing it. That's my secret shame, is that I actually like writing it.
I know. I just procrastinate so much.
I still do, to be honest.
I know. I'm really...
One reason why I do like hunting and stuff is because, like, shiny hunting is because I know if I try and think of doing something else, I won't do it.
I know. Why hasn't the Koro comics leaked yet?
Last time it did it on the second day of the supposed leaks, or at about past 3 AM for me. It's coming close to that time now.
Oh yeah, I remember. Sylveon Nymphia then was like revealed like 8 my time. Yeah.
I saw the silhouette come through on Twitter about 3:40 AM my time. And then I had to actually go to sleep because I just couldn't stay up anymore. And when I woke up, they had Sylveon on there, so...
It's like Sylveon apocalypse. Sylveon everywhere.
Yeah, it's like I was getting about 3 tweets an hour about Koro until about 3:40ish, and then I got about several hundred at once. It was crazy.
I know. It's like, seriously, everyone either fell in love with it or hated it. And not a lot of people actually hated it.
Right. Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna confess right now. I actually think that, like, Sylveon is one of my favorite evolutions so far. I think that's only really because of, like, I can see why it wouldn't appeal to some people, because it's not, obviously, it's too, like, girly looking and all that.
Yeah, but honestly,
I really like it.
Honestly, I think Sylveon more represents time of... Its pinks and stuff more represents the times of day. Like, if you look at the sunrise and sunset, main colors are orange and pink. What are Sylveon's main colors? Orange and pink. Its color scheme really references to Sky. Sorry, go on ahead.
There's one thing I really sort of think the problem with speculators is that they over-speculate, like, they think too much into it, and then it leads them off, like, onto these really weird things, like, oh, Sylveon's a dragon type, oh, Sylveon's a fighting type, oh, Sylveon's... I know I actually admitted that Sylveon's a fighting type, but I'm kicking myself here.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, Sylveon's a ghost type. There's no way Sylveon is a ghost type.
I know. It's like, Sylveon fights with its ribbons! We already have Ming Xiao, the French man. So I really didn't think it would be that possible for Sylveon to be a fighting type if it... like that.
If it was a fighting type, it would look more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. Those eyes just stare into your soul. I can see how people would think it's a bug type, but I think a bug evolution would clearly have some type of compound eyes or mandibles or something that would really indicate it was a bug.
Yeah, exactly. Because every single Eevee evolution is like really obviously what type it is. Sylveon's no different.
Uh-huh. If you just don't over-speculate and think about the sky, which is kind of ironic because there's Skyla and stuff like that, but it's like, if you really know how a sky looks, it over the time of day, you can really see how Sylveon looks like that. Well, most people think Sylveon, a flying type evolution, would have like clouds and light blues and stuff.
No, I think it's too obvious. If they gave Sylveon wings and its design, and then they said, oh, new Pokemon, Sylveon, and it had wings, everyone would automatically know it was a flying type, and the whole point of hiding its type would be meaningless.
I know. And then there's that bullcrap about light type speculation.
Oh, God. That drives me up the wall because I like to play... The only reason why I still play Pokemon is mainly because of the Wi-Fi. Like, that's the only thing that keeps me going on it. And if it had something... Like, if they just randomly introduced a new type, like, and there were so few of them, that would just really annoy me for some reason.
That, and the game's pretty much balanced? Well, almost balanced.
As far as I'm concerned about the typings, they're balanced, it's just the Pokemon that aren't.
I know. It's like...
At least some of them.
I know. It's like... And they were right, in Gen 1, Psychic was really broken, so adding in Dark and Steel was really good. But then...
Exactly.
This gen, there's like... so much... fighting type this, fighting type that.
I think fighting type needs, like, a kick down a bit. Like, I feel that fighting type in itself is a bit too strong.
Especially since they gave High Jump Kick a power boost. And the problem is, nobody runs Ghost types much anymore. Like...
No, they don't.
Because of most of the main fighting types have a way to hit through them, like Breloom, like, okay, Breloom can't do anything to Gengar, but most other fighting ghost types, Breloom can easily just use, like, Seed Bomb, or Spore, or Bullet Seed, and Terrakion can just... Terrakion's, like... After Excadrill got punished and kicked out, Terrakion's just been, like, dominating. Like,
yeah, I heard, I've never used a Terrakion in battle, but I've heard that they're actually really amazingly crazy.
That thing can run a set of Earthquake, Stone Edge, Close Combat, and X-Scissor, and perfectly destroy any team. That's how bad it is. Of course, I also think another major problem with fighting types was giving Drain Punch a boost.
Drain Punch is the most ridiculous thing I've seen at the moment.
I know. You punch someone and you get energy back. How does that work?
I mean, it's not really the logic of it behind it, it's just how ridiculously overpowered it is, because all it takes is a few sword stances, which most fighting type sets have, and then they can just heal all the HP they have. Like, the only sense of something like Drain Punch would be on a grass type or whatever, but not Punch, something like Giga Drain, but just boosted a bit.
Or Horn Leech for Sawsbuck. But yeah, like, Drain Punch has 75 base power, like Giga Drain, but since fighting is a better type offensively, and it's used a lot more. Honestly, I really think Sylveon, when it comes out, needs an ability that makes it immune to rock type attacks. Or stealth rocks or something. Or just a flying type in general.
I don't know what they could give it, actually, because I can't imagine it learning someone like Brave Bird or anything too useful. Maybe honestly, I'm wrong.
I can see Sylveon definitely be a physical incarnation of Jolteon. Maybe they'll give it, like, a flying type physical attack that's, like, same as Thunderbolt or Brave Bird or something. Like, honestly,
I could see it using Sky Attack.
Yeah, but Sky Attack takes too long. Unless you have a power.
It looks nice though.
I know. Like, the best flying type in the game right now that actually can abuse its flying type move is Staraptor. But then it gets a lot of recoil from Rockless and Double Edge and Brave Bird. Really limiting how much it can do. Because while Tornadus T was actually in regular server play, it wrecked fighting types. So it checked it for a small amount, but then Tornadus T became almost impossible to kill. Honestly, I wish they never introduced a Choice Scarf.
Choice Scarf is kind of the main prominent held item in literally everything, isn't it?
It's either Choice Scarf, Life Orb, or Leftovers, and the Rare Focus Sash. That's pretty much only 4 items used, unless it's a Chansey, and that has Eviolite.
What is a Chansey like with an Eviolite?
I used them in balanced Hackmons with Imposter. Let's just say every Chansey is really better than Blissey. The only reason why Blissey's OU and Chansey's borderline is because Blissey actually has constant recovery and leftovers, but Chansey has a lot more higher defenses than Blissey once it has an Eviolite, and pretty much does the same thing. Also, since I've been playing Little Cup, there's actually a little Pokemon I've found that I can think really be very viable in OU that's not fully evolved Pokemon.
I found, actually tried NFE and, Gen 4, I don't know if it's still the same in Gen 5, most likely isn't. But I found Slowpoke and Tentacool good.
Yeah. Anorith got Swift Swim. And for a first stage Pokemon, it has really good attack stat at 95, base 95, and it can learn Sword Stance. Meaning, and it has a higher base speed than one of the best Swift Swim abusers, Ludicolo. Meaning, I can easily see that be OU once people realize Interest's potential in the rain. Though, it does easily die to water type attacks, so that's probably why it's not really as used as much. And also Sableye.
I really like that guy, but he's just like, no one uses him, and he's not very, stat-wise, he's not very good.
Then he got something that then he got the ability that made everyone hate Whimsicott.
Prankster.
Yes. And suddenly, Sableye is one of the best Pokemon in the game. As it can easily check fighting types with Will-O-Wisp, so pretty much Sableye's main counter is Chandler. But
really? Is Sableye used in OU?
yeah, it's actually underused now.
I've never heard of that. I'm actually really happy as well, because I like that guy.
I know. And if it got an evolution next gen, I feel like it would get sort of the treatment that, like, that Sableye would actually be higher than its evolution, like Duskclops is actually higher than Dusknoir. Just because of how broken each
I see where you're coming from, absolutely, yeah.
Because
the only problem with Duskclops is he had ridiculously high defense stats anyway, so the evolution really wasn't necessary.
Mm-hmm. In all honesty, they should have gave Bayonet the evolution instead of Duskclops. And honestly, Absol should not get an evolution, despite a lot of people saying that. So Absol...
I think Absol's okay where it is.
Yeah. The only bad thing about Absol is that it doesn't really have a reliable priority attack, which has made Caesar, like, beyond used. With, like, Technician and Bullet Punch and Stab has 135 base power priority attack. And still, I don't wonder why it's been not has been banned yet.
Apparently, Whimsicott wasn't banned because of its type, and that's about it, really.
Yeah.
And the fact that its move pool wasn't that great anyway.
Mm-hmm. It was annoying, but it can easily be countered. Like, now it's like not ever used because everyone hates its guts. It's like some Pokemon who've gotten like I was reading the Smoggin article, which I actually, even so I'm not really a big fan of Smoggin, I really like their web magazine because it's actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
And 15 Pokemon that rely on their abilities are like, they have things like Shedinja, Wobbuffet, and Politoed. Like, and then there's like Manaphy and Blaziken, which are the reasons why they were banned because of its ability. And then there's like, they actually list Sableye as probably the best. Thundurus was banned because of Prankster. Come on.
Oh.
Oh no. You died.
Yeah, I got slaughtered. That's actually one of the hardest bosses in the game, and it's like right at the beginning.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
It just has so much HP. I don't know if you want to finish here actually, because it's like clocking up to like an hour now, so I don't know if there's anything you want to say, like last things.
Well,
do you have anything you want to plug? Anything you want to advertise? Shamelessly?
Well, go on, visit my live stream channel and stuff. I do random stuff, and if I could, I'd love to be back on again.
Alright, okay. Yeah, I can do another one anytime, so just let me know. It won't take as long to set up next time.
I know, that was just a pain.
It was, yeah. Alright, I'll see everyone next time.
Alright. Bye, thanks for having me.